The final whistle blows. Newcastle United, 5 Premier League wins in a row. 6 straight victories in all competitions, and they start 2025 with another success. And for the first time since 2018, they win their first game of a calendar year. A first half turnaround from Gordon and Isak was enough, and they survived a lot of Tottenham pressure in the latter part of the game. And 3 away wins in a row for Eddie Howe's players, who cement their hold on 5th spot in the Premier League. A brilliant result, John Anderson.
Yeah, it was a lot tougher than previous results that we've had. We had to really dig in. For all the ball Tottenham had in the second half, they didn't really create a great deal. They didn't get enough bodies in the box. We never created a lot second half. I mean, it was... damage was done in the first half when Tottenham were all over the shop. Game changed a little bit when he brought his big hitters on. They got more of the ball, but as I say, never really thought they were a goal threat because they never got enough white shirts into the penalty area to create a great deal.
Newcastle's great run, continues. It was a fantastic December, Brentford away aside, and well, they've started the new year with another fine victory. So consistency is there in terms of results and performances now, which has propelled them up the table.
It has. I mean, you know, the performances at Leicester, against Leicester, Ipswich and Manchester United were an awful lot more comfortable than this was. Had to really dig in today. You know, Botman came back, grew into the game as the game went on. Tottenham dominated the ball second half, but as I say, never really created a great deal. I always felt that we could catch them on the break. We didn't make the most of the opportunities that we got in the second half, but still a big win.
Eddie Howe, his staff and his players gone to the corner on the far side to thank the fans. Big celebrations in the away section. Many of them will be travelling north to then make this journey again on Tuesday for Arsenal in the first leg of the semi-finals of the League Cup. A huge night ahead. It's a quick turnaround, another big effort, and substitutions were made late as well. A lot of these players, not Bruno, he's suspended in the League Cup for the first leg of the semi-final, will need to deliver something big again, but they go into that in really great mood, don't they, with the run that they're on, full of confidence.
Yeah, still be tough, you know. The Emirates has never really been a good hunting ground for us. Obviously changes need to be made. You wonder whether it was just cramp that Botman had, but you'd be surprised if he could play 2 games in the space of 3-4 days. So you'll have to get everybody back and have a look at them, see who's good to go and who's not. But yeah, I mean, go into it in good heart, confidence is high, and we'll see what happens on Tuesday night.
Send us your messages about the match or any other Newcastle topics. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp, or if you're texting, put BBC at the start as you need to on WhatsApp, and the text number is 81333. Handshakes for Alexander Isak on his way off the pitch. His 14th of the season, played onto him by Dragusin and into the bottom corner, and he's scored in 7 straight Newcastle Premier League matches, which is a record equaling statistic, along with Joe Willock and Alan Shearer, who also did that. So his goal scoring run continues, and the team's winning run continues as well, ahead of a huge cup tie back in London on Tuesday night. We'll get some reaction from Eddie Howe and hopefully a player. You'll find it on X at BBC Newcastle, or on BBC Sound, search for Newcastle United podcast, and we'll bring that to you as soon as we can. Dominic Solanke opened the scoring for Tottenham, but Anthony Gordon replied within 2 minutes, and then Alexander Isak with what proved to be the winner 7 minutes before half-time. And in all competitions, 6 victories in a row for Newcastle United, who have won here in North London by 2 goals to 1.
Matt Bailey at breakfast. Breakfast.
Talking about kids' TV shows and your issue with them. Phoneboy Tom, you think Finding Nemo's a spoiled little brat who should have just been left to die because he shouldn't have nicked off from his dad.
You got to learn your lesson somehow.
Joan in Whitley Bay is on the phone.
Oh, I've got a big issue with Mr. Ben. A grown man goes into a changing room and he comes out as a character. He goes off and has an adventure as that character. Very interesting as that is. And then he comes back to the office, presumably. What a weirdo. I would personally arrest him, but never mind.
Matt Bailey at Breakfast.
Back Monday morning
From 6.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
So it's Newcastle United that leave North London with all 3 points. They've beaten Spurs 2-1 in the capital. It's 6 wins in a row in all competitions. Now they've temporarily cut the gap on the top 4, now level on points with Chelsea in 4th. The hosts, of course, took that early lead, but a rapid response from Newcastle. Anthony Gordon had Newcastle level just 2 minutes later, and then Alexander Isak netted his 13th Premier League goal just before half-time to send them in leading at the break. It was Isak's 9th goal in 7, scoring in each one of those matches as well. Dominic James then back in the BBC Radio Newcastle studio. John Anderson, of course the former Republic of Ireland and Newcastle United fullback at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We are on till 3 o'clock, so you can have your say between now and then give us a call 0800 234 6565. We're on WhatsApp as well. It's 08000 321 333. Text 81333. But do start your messages with the letters BBC with Ando in just a second. But just quickly, a reminder of the other Premier League games that are happening today. Bournemouth are against Everton, Aston Villa against Leicester, Crystal Palace host Chelsea, Manchester City up against West Ham, Southampton against Brentford. In the late kick-off, it's Brighton against Arsenal. There was 3 early kick-offs in the Championship. Burnley beat Blackburn 1-0 in the Lancashire derby. Stoke and Plymouth played out a goalless draw, and it finished Swansea 1, West Brom 1. Just a quick reminder of the non-league games today, because the weather has taken a hit on them in the FA Trophy. 4th round Gateshead against Boston this afternoon, but it's being played at Stockton on that artificial pitch. We were due to do commentary, but because of the change in venue, we're unable to bring you commentary of that one this afternoon. And South Shields against Hereford is postponed in the National League North, and in the NPL Premier, Heaven Town's game against Warrington Rylands is still on. Blythe Spartans at Croft Park against Ash United is off, and Morpeth Town's game with FC United of Manchester is on as well. Back to North London then, where we can rejoin our Newcastle United summariser John Anderson. And Ando, they just about got over the line there, didn't they?
I wouldn't say they just got over the line, Dom. I mean, Spurs had plenty of the ball second half, but as I said to Razor at the end there, you know, for all the ball they had, they didn't create a great deal, Spurs. They didn't get enough bodies in the box. They didn't get enough real quality ball into the box either. They had all the ball second half, but played in front of us for the majority of it. And you always felt that on the break we were dangerous. We didn't make the most of the breaks that we had in that second half, because Spurs leave themselves so open because they commit so many bodies into the final third of the pitch. But it was comfortable, you know. I mean, the first half was, Spurs got off to a great start. It
was a great cross.
In 2 minutes. It was a great cross. It was a great header, to be fair. You know, it was a good goal by Spurs. Within 2 minutes, you're level. And then the second goal, Isak, Dragusin just gets his feet all tied up. He makes a complete mess of it and virtually plays it onto Isak, who I'm not too sure knows a great deal about it, and it ends up in the back of the net. But I thought there would have been more goals the way the game was going, but you know, as I say, I don't think we took advantage of the opportunities that came our way second half. We had to dig in, we had to battle, and that's what we did.
Because I know you, in commentary, you were saying the Joe Linton handball or potential handball in the lead up to Gordon's equaliser. You felt it was maybe Newcastle were a bit lucky to get that decision, perhaps?
Well, if that had been given against us, you know, people are saying, oh, well, he didn't score the goal. No, but he set up the goal. So, you know, he set Gordon up to score. If that had been given against us, I wouldn't have been happy.
Was his hands not in a natural place there?
But he set up a goal, so does that not count? Is it only if you score?
It must be.
That it becomes handball. Well, I don't know. I mean, the rules nowadays, I haven't got a clue, Dom. So you're going to have to fill me in. I don't know. But as I say, if it had been given against us, I wouldn't have been happy.
Yeah, and Botman, you mentioned there, back today, played 90 minutes, went off with what we hope is just cramp towards the end.
Yeah, he came off feeling the back of his calf. You just hope that it is cramp and that he hasn't tweaked it or anything like that. I mean, he started a little bit rustily, but as the game wore on, he got better and better. He grew into it, and look, it's only to be expected at the time that the boy's been out, and it's a big plus to have him back. He brings more to that back four. As I say, the longer the game went on, the better he became. Be surprised if he played on Tuesday night. I think that's a big ask. 2 games in the space of 3 days with the length of time that he's been out. So, but as I say, you just hope that he hasn't tweaked that calf and that it was only just cramp.
Yeah, you'd be surprised if he took part against Arsenal on Tuesday now from the start. But let's go to the phone lines, then you can give us a call as well. We're on till 3 o'clock, so you've got about 15 minutes to get your call in and come on and have a chat with Ando. John is a Newcastle fan and is first up this afternoon. Good afternoon, John.
How you doing, Tom? How you doing, Ando? You alright, lads?
Yeah, good, John, thank you.
Good. Ando, I wish I had your bravery at times, because I was really nervous in that last 13 minutes or so. You just, for me personally, I think when you've got a team like Tottenham, when you've got the likes of Maddison and Song, Kulusevski, those type of players, they only need half a chance sometimes, and that's all it takes. But credit to the lads, Ando, 7 consecutive wins, Isaac's in the form of his life, 5th in the table. We would have definitely took the position that we're in a few weeks ago. Just a quick question, Ando. The Gordon incident in the second half, I personally thought that was a penalty and Kulusevski should have been sent off. What was your thoughts on it?
No, you can't be given a penalty and sending players off for that. They just turned into each other. There was no intent in that whatsoever, John. I mean, dear oh dear, if you're sending players off for that coming together in games, you're going to end up with 7 players on every game. I mean, it was a coming together. He did catch him, but there was no intent in that. Gordon's just turned back, Kulusevski's turning as well, and they just collided. I didn't see a penalty. Definitely not a red card.
Maybe it's not the red card, but I definitely thought at the time, Ando, it was a penalty. And looking back, I think Gordon had blood coming out of him as well, which to me would indicate that there was certainly contact.
There was a coming together. Yeah, there was definitely contact there, but just because there's blood doesn't mean that it's a penalty, does it?
No, fair enough. It was just my original thought at the time.
Well, look at it. Yeah, it's all about opinion.
Yeah. One of the things I was concerned about, Andor, is the substitutions that he made. Bearing in mind we've got a massive game on Tuesday. 86 minutes when he took Murphy off and put Longstaff on. 78 minutes when Gordon was on. I thought the midfield three, Andor, looked absolutely shotted after about 60 minutes. Not saying he should have taken Bruno, Tonali and Joe Linton off, but I was a bit worried that he left the players on, and you've mentioned Botman there coming off at 92 minutes. I thought he could have taken him off at 60 minutes and maybe he's given him a breather, and then that would have given him a better chance to start on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it's a real good one, good point that you make. I mean, I thought Botman probably only would have played about an hour today, but he obviously felt all right. They were obviously quite happy with him. You just think with them leaving him on as long as they have, that the intentions is not to play him on Tuesday night. I might be wrong in that, but I mean, Bruno is suspended on Tuesday night, so I see the sense in taking him off after an hour or 70 minutes even, and giving whoever you would think it'd be Longstaff or Willock even, whichever one, give them 20 minutes. He did leave the substitutions a little bit late, but I think at the end of the day, John, I think he was just trying to run the clock down as well. I thought he was trying to kill a little bit time towards the end of the game as well. He took Isak off. He put Willock up front. Willock went and played as a centre forward. But look, it was a big win. It was a big win because even though Spurs had all the ball, as I said to Dom earlier on, second half, I just thought they played in front of us all the time. They didn't get enough bodies in the box. You know, Dubravka's made a couple of saves, but you would say they were bread and butter saves. They were saves that you would expect them to make. And we had chances on the break that we didn't make the most of. You know, our decision making, our final ball was poor. If we had got that right, we could have won it by a little bit more, but which probably would we have deserved it? Maybe not, but we deserved to win the game on the whole, because I think in the first half, especially after we went 2-1 up, I thought we were the better side for the rest of that half. I thought we really controlled the first half well. I thought some of the football we played was good. Second half, we had to show a different side to us. You know, we had to dig in, we had to battle, we had to keep our shape really well, and I thought we did that. You know, Tottenham brought their big boys on, as you would have expected. As I say, controlled the ball, had the majority of the ball in that second half, but for me, really didn't do enough to get back into the game, John.
Yeah, John, thank you very much for your phone call this afternoon. You can give us a call if you're quick, 0800 234 6565. Just a couple of messages for you, Ando. This one is from William, who says, great win, but why do we continue to sit back in the second half? Tonali was quiet and we had to dig in and get the result, but a big win. This one is from Elaine and John. He says, great and deserved result for the Toon today. Listening in Las Palmas, a pleasant 24 degrees. How much extra time?
Lovely.
I know, very nice. But yeah, 10 minutes added on there. I think most Newcastle fans were maybe a little bit panicked when they seen 10 minutes go.
I think it was about right, Dom, with all the injuries.
Oh yeah, there was quite a lot of
and whatnot that went on. You know, but it's
yeah, there was quite a few head injuries today.
It's a little bit warmer out there than it is here, I bet.
Yes, I think the high today is about 3 degrees. I think that the high in the northeast today. This one is from Brian, who says, hi Ando, that second half was torture but great graft, and it will come in handy on Tuesday. Yeah, a big shift from players today, I guess, ahead of that game, but I guess the early kickoff maybe helps on the Saturday, playing again on Tuesday. And this one is from Mark, who says it was a great win for Newcastle against a 12-man Spurs today. The referee was a disgrace, and the team looked to tie it after 65. The referee
was a disgrace for both sides.
Yeah, and after the team looked to tie it after 65 minutes and needed to keep the ball better. Yeah, the referee wasn't very popular today at all, was he? Really?
No, he wasn't popular with Spurs fans either. I thought he was as bad for both sides, if I'm perfectly honest, Don. I didn't think the referee was good at all today.
In that message there from Mark, he said the team seems to tire a bit earlier than expected.
I don't think so. I didn't see that at Old Trafford. I didn't see it at Ipswich. Didn't see it against Leicester. Look, you come to Spurs, even though they have the injuries that they've got, they've still got good players. They're going to have the ball. You know, there's going to be times where they're going to dominate the ball, and they did that second half. But I thought our shape was really good. I don't think they really caused us too many problems in that second half.
Now, let's go back to the phones then. Martin is up next. Good afternoon, Martin.
Afternoon. You okay, guys? Happy New Year.
Hey, Martin. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, and to you, mate.
What did you make of that?
Well, I always thought it was going to be a tough game. I think we could have maybe asked a few more questions as Spurs. You know, as one of the previous people on the text said there, that you know we shut up shop in the second half and we did quieten down. But the good thing is we went straight to our work. I mean, we gave a goal away earlier on. We got straight back into the game, and then we got a goal in front, and you know we didn't control the game, but we contained Tottenham because they were the home team, and you know it wasn't pretty, but you know we got the job done. I think where the result's the most important thing, but I would have liked to have seen a bit more flair from us, definitely.
I think sometimes you've just got to roll your sleeves up, especially away from home, to dig results out. I thought when we went in front in that first half, I thought we controlled the rest of that half. I thought we were well on top going in a half time. second half changed a little bit, especially with the substitutions that they made with bringing Son, Caicedo, Maddison on. They got a little bit of a foothold in the game, John, but Martin. But I don't really think that they created a great deal. You know, for all the ball they had, they didn't create an awful lot. And I thought on the break, when we broke a couple of times, if our final ball had been better, we probably could have won it by more. It was just that final delivery, that decision making let us down in that second half.
Yeah. I mean, I was pleased to see Botman back today, John. Great to see him back on the pitch. It was. Do you think it was a brave? I mean, I think, in my opinion, it was a brave decision from Eddie Howe to put him in from the start. I mean, do you think he was ready to start, or would you have brought him in as I would, off the bench?
Well, look, I think he needed to get game time somewhere. You know, there needed to be a starting point for him, and they've obviously looked at him in training. He's been back training a while. He played 60 minutes in an under-21 game. I'm sure there was other behind closed doors practice matches as well. They've obviously been keeping a close eye on him, and they felt that he was ready to start today. I thought he started a little bit rustily. He looked a little bit nervy, as you would expect, but I think the longer the game went on, the better he became, and he grew into the game. I was amazed that he stayed on as long as he did. I thought he'd probably only have an hour in him, 70 minutes at most, but he got through it all. I just hope that the calf, he was feeling his calf coming off. You hope that it's nothing, that it's not a pull or anything like that, that it's just a little bit of cramp. But it's great to have him back. He's a good player, and as I say, there needed to be a starting point, and they obviously felt today was right for him. But I doubt whether I doubt very much, Martin, whether he was going to play in both of these games today and against Arsenal on Tuesday. I think that's a big ask as somebody who's been out that length of time. So I think they picked one of the games and decided today was probably the right one for him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't risk him on. Bring him on against Arsenal if things aren't going too well. But personally, I think give him a rest. Maybe put Dan Burn in there. I don't know if Fabian Schär will be fit or not, but I wouldn't risk him on Wednesday.
Schär's not available on Tuesday night. He's suspended as well. So he'll miss that. So you would think Kelly will probably come back in, and if Botman's all right, if that calf's all right, you would think he would play against Crawley next Saturday in the cup game as well. I mean, that's another ideal game to get another 90 minutes into him,
Bromley next week, isn't it?
Oh, Bromley is, sorry, what did I say? Crawley,
Bromley.
Sorry, Dom, thanks for that.
No, I'm here to keep you right, and after all. Martin, thank you very much for your phone
very good
call.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want you to be wrong, Ando. We've got a couple of minutes left, Ando. Just sort of now, I guess all eyes is on Arsenal on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
What does Eddie Howe's approach need to be to that? Because obviously it's over two legs. How would you approach it going into that game now?
I don't think he'll change his approach, Dom. I don't think he'll change the way that he plays. In the length of time that he's been here, he's never changed his attitude to the games and the way that the team goes about it. I think they'll go to the Emirates on Tuesday night and try to win it. I don't think they'll sit back and try and defend and see if we can get something out of it. I don't think we're that type of side. I don't think Eddie Howe's that type of manager. He'll send the team out to go and try and get something out of the game. It'll be interesting to see what the team is, because obviously no Schär again, no Guimaraes. So it's all about who's going to be ready for Tuesday as well, who comes out with this one all right. So but the way that we're playing at this moment in time and the attitude that we've got, going there wouldn't hold any fears for us.
Yeah, just one final message then before we go. Eddie Howe, this one's from Ken in Hebley, says Eddie Howe utilised the same tactics as the Man United game. They pressed Spurs and got the lead early in the first half and then contained them in the second half. A job well done, says Ken.
Yeah, look, I don't think it was tactics to let Spurs have as much of the ball in the second half. Sometimes you've got to give the opposition credit, especially away from home. Good sides, they're good players. They're going to have some of the ball, and that's what happened in the second half. But as I say, I thought we got our game management in that second half spot on.
Yeah, John Anderson, thank you very much. Safe travels back to the North East.
Thank you.
Newcastle United then beating Spurs 2-1 this afternoon in North London. It means the Magpies go level on points with Chelsea in the league on 35 points. Chelsea in fourth. But up next on BBC Radio Newcastle, Simon Logan. We're back next on tomorrow at 2 o'clock for Sunderland against Portsmouth. Do join us from 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Now Pedro Porro with a swinging cross towards Solanke. Diving header from Dominic Solanke into the bottom corner. And Newcastle, who've made a habit of scoring early in recent weeks, have conceded early this afternoon. 4 minutes played, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Newcastle United 0. Sarr has played it around Newcastle players, then Joe Linton with a block. Bruno, here's an opportunity. Anthony Gordon into the bottom corner. An immediate response by Newcastle United. Spurs are claiming handball in the build-up, but Gordon finishes left-footed from inside the area after United won it back, with Spurs trying to play short passes out from the back. And in the 6th minute at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, we are level. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Newcastle United 1. Isak to Bruno, laid off for Tonali. Murphy in the box on the near side. Jacob Murphy with a low cross, it's in. It might be an own goal, or it might be Alexander Isak again. Newcastle United have turned it around in North London, and in the 38th minute they lead Tottenham Hotspur by 2-1.